check out
in YouTube.
On YouTube, the Fosters
Game Review.
Woohoo! Upside down. Hello, Foster's Game Reviews, back again. Are you surprised? But look, we are surrounded by a sofa, not a kitchen. The reason being, I'm going to take this channel a bit more serious now, because the move is becoming ever closer over there. So I went out and purchased myself a tripod. Instead of one of those farty little things that you just stand on the worktop. It's not really suitable, so I went about my persons to go on eBay and I got myself, it's a Tripod 3110. I'll show you the tripod in a second. It comes with the stand, goes up to 1.2 meters, folds to 3.5. It's got all the axes, it's got the mobile camera rig to hold it. It's made out of aluminium and it only weighs 420 grams. It's really light. It cost me just over £8 with free postage, and it's from the UK. I didn't have to wait for it to come from China. It comes in a nice little bag to store it in. So if you just bear with me a second. Ignore the mess. That's kids for you. But yes, this is it. You have all the axes. You unscrew that, so you've got the up and down, and then you obviously tighten it up to the desired angle. Nice and firm. I want it there. Then we've got the rotation, which is that one. And then we also have the axes for that's this one. Yeah. Which is, and it has little, if you can see, it has little ridges inside that hold it in place. So we have that as well. Fully adjustable. It's got the foldable stand, as you can see. There we go. And then you've got the collapsible legs. There is another extension on these, but I didn't want it full length because I'm just sat on a sofa. So as you can see, it's not a bad little tripod. It's nothing amazing, but it does what it needs to do. Now, many moons ago, I've had quite a few camcorders back in the day, and I had a clip mic, which I would have been using today. You put a watch battery inside of here, obviously for it to work. You can see. But can't get it back on there. Oh, why did I do that? Anyway, so I got a clip mic for the purpose of recording videos, which is mine from many moons ago. Still works perfectly fine, but not on the Samsung S9 Plus. No, so I got in touch with Samsung, and apparently their brand spanking new device hasn't got a video editor, and also hasn't got the facilities to accept a microphone. Yeah. So the S6, which I was using previously to record my videos on, was a far superior phone to record on, and it had a lot more gadgets and gizmos that you could tinker with. Bad move, Samsung. Anyhow, enough of that. So yeah, taking it a little bit more serious. Need to go in the direction, and when we do move house and I get the room set up, I will be doing playthroughs, reviews. I'll be talking about Laserdisc, vinyl. So there may be a name change to the channel, which I doubt there will. It's called the Foster's Games Reviews, but in essence, I mean, you see all these channels all over YouTube, and they call us, you know, Angry Video Game Nerd. He reviews films as well, so it's, you know, we all do a little bit of everything. It doesn't necessarily dictate what you say. Like, Ben, you don't constantly talk about Turtles, do you? No. All things retro. Top man. Anyhow, let's get that out of the way. And I'll show you my pickups. Where do I start? Well, firstly, let's go down the Primark route. Because my wife went out, my beautiful wife, should I say, and she went to Primark and got me I posted this on Instagram the other day. It's the Aladdin. I quite like this. It's going to be a nice centrepiece within the gaming room. Got no relevance to gaming, apart from the film Aladdin. But it's a very nice piece. It's a teapot, fully functional teapot. Teapot. I'm not going to take it out because I broke the last one. This is where I'm going. So, it had only been at home 10 minutes and I felt really guilty. Because I'm in a rush, I opened it up, took it out, but normally the little plastic surround or like a clip that holds the lid in, no, this one didn't, it just fell off and smashed. So, a few harsh words was exchanged, but yeah, I felt really guilty. So I drove through, I drove to Leeds. I don't do West Yorkshire, don't drive Leeds. So I went to the White Rose Centre. Oop. Dimly. Went to the White Rose Centre and went and picked one up as a replacement. So I got that. Thank you, wife. So to accompany this, the Genie mug. I've got a thing about mugs lately. I don't know what it is. I've got Stitch mug, Mary Poppins mug, Robin Hood mug. You name it. I don't know. I've got a thing about mugs. Really quaint mugs, but it's quite a nice mug actually. It's not crudely painted neither. There is a bit of effort. That's polystyrene in there. It's not a scratch. It isn't really crudely done. I mean, the eyes are a little bit skew, but other than that, I think it's quite nicely painted. Obviously, it's done in a factory, but that's that one. The Genie mug. They're from Primark. They've got them in at the moment. This has got no relevance, but I quite like the tag as well, which came on my wife's, Louise, her pyjamas. Just a little tag. No relevance whatsoever. Anyhow, went into Primark to when we got the mug, and they're doing like doing the Disney side of things, and they're also pushing Nickelodeon. Well, when I saw this poster, I couldn't resist, but I had to have it. When I say I had to have it, I didn't technically purchase it. This is the said poster. Ren and Stimpy, Chucky, Arnold, and Cat Dog. Hey Cat! Oh Ren. But yeah, I know it says Primark on it, but it says Nick 90s and Primark. It's like a collaboration. I had to have it. Yes, it's nice. Not tell you how I acquired that one. But anywho, got a few pieces through the post. More Laserdisc. Now, reasonably well packaged.
Welcome to Joe's apartment. It's our apartment too. We've been around for 100 million years and we'll be here long after you.
Yes, you guessed it. I spun it round. It's Joe's Apartment. If you haven't seen this film, you've got to go see it. Well, you've got to go see it. You've got to get it. It's one of those vintage movies. It's also MTV's first movie as well. It's one of those cult classics. It's a bit like, what can I say? Tank Girl. It's one of those cult movies that it's forgotten about, but you really need to watch it for the humour. The disc is absolutely mint. I was lucky really, because first time round it didn't actually sell. It's pristine. As you can see what's on the TV at the moment, it's the Switch. Yeah, the guy listed it and it didn't sell, and I missed out because it said you've got 15 minutes remaining. I was at work, turned my internet on at the last minute, unsold. So I messaged the guy, asked if I could buy it for the price we listed it at, which was £5. It didn't sell. The only person that bid on it was me. I was so lucky to get it really. But going back to the Nickelodeon, I do believe Billy West voiced the main cockroach in this. Hopefully I'll be seeing him in June. Yes. Hopefully I'll be seeing him in June. So I would be very appreciative. Yeah, anyhow, I'll get him to sign it. I couldn't think of a word. Excuse me. This one came just the other day. I do have the standard version of this, but I don't have the special edition, which is Jurassic Park, which celebrates 25 years this year, I do believe. This is a CAV version with constant angular velocity, which is the better picture quality. CLD, which is like a compressed version of Laserdisc. CAV, which is it's slightly uncompressed. It's borderline DVD quality. This come with what I like about Laserdisc, you get a load of features like little stories and tidbits and stuff at the back. I mean, with a DVD you wouldn't get this. In fact, this has probably never been produced since this came out. Basically tells you the story of Jurassic Park and what DNA is all about, the process of it all. So, in hindsight, it could be done. We all know it could be done, but we don't want to mess with DNA, do we now? There is a piece missing out of this. It's a bright yellow piece that's got Mr. DNA, but fortunately that was missing. But for the price I paid, I'm not complaining. It goes on eBay on average between £30 to £70. I didn't pay 10, so I cannot complain. The discs for this are immaculate. Again, they're pristine. The case is a little bit worn on the outside, but which I'm not too worried about. It's the actual movie itself, which absolute classic movie. There is 2 discs and 4 sides, unfortunately, but that's how Laserdisc works. So, to get a tea break out of the way, innit? But it's a fantastic piece to have. If you collect Laserdisc, this is one of the editions that I'd recommend that you get. There is a scene in this, I do believe, that isn't on the DVD. Quote me if I'm wrong, but you've got to get if you're a collector. Joe's Apartment, Tank Girl from the other week, and this must. Something else called in the Lego shop. Now the Lego Ideas, they've just recently brought out a Tron set, which is this one, the light cycles. For what it's £29.99. I had a fiver on my Lego card, so I had to pay like £24.98 or something. It's not an amazingly big set for That's the, you get the base plate, I think it's 3 characters. You get 3 characters and 2 light cycles. It's not a big set. I've seen it set up. The cars are roughly this big, but it's just the nostalgia of it. The first film was revolutionary in its time. I mean, the process just to make the film alone was time consuming. I think it took like 18 months to, I think it was 18 months, 2 years to make the film, because they had to reproduce all the frames in a backlight. It's such a long process that they did, and they had to take a photograph and then they basically turned it into negative mode and then backlit it. Such a long process, and then they reanimated the movie. But yeah, that's from Tron Legacy, by the way. It's not from the actual Tron. So, but yeah, I haven't built it up, and like I keep saying, I haven't built any of my sets up yet. The Simpsons house and the Ghostbusters house, because I haven't got the space or room. So when we move over there, I will be building them up. Probably do like a quick montage video or something. And finally, some GameCube games. Micro Machines on the GameCube. Published by Atari, but obviously it's a Codemasters game. Is it? No, it says Hasbro, but I'm sure originally it was Codemasters. I did read somewhere the original release of Micro Machines. Nintendo wasn't very happy with Codemasters because it was an unofficial release. So there was a bit of a hoo-ha back then. In 1992, I do believe it is. This came out, is it 2004? 2003? 2002. This is basically a re-release of the older versions, but just obviously improved on graphics. You can't go wrong with Micro Machines. Great tabletop game, isometric top-down. Always a fun. Always a good bit of fun. Especially when you've had a few drinks. The disc, well, when I went in, from CEX, when I went in, the discs were bad to hell, so I basically said, can you clean them? He said, we can't stick them on the cleaner because they're only small ones. I says, no, you can stick them on because you click it on to the drive, and then the rotors go in like a figure 8. Alright, I lost my manager. But yeah, they came back. I don't think you can see, but they're actually really, really good. But they were scratched to hell. That one was 8, I do believe. But yeah, I don't understand why this is by Atari. And on the back it says licensed by Hasbro, which is the manufacturers of Micro Machines, I do believe. But I did read some... Oh, Infogrames, there we go. Infogrames got the license to produce this, where Codemasters did the original. That was it. But I'd read that Codemasters couldn't get the license because of the bad blood back in the day. They still made games for the NES and the Super Nintendo. There's a bit of bad blood, so left a bad taste, so they got Infogrames to make that, who no longer exist, and I think got swallowed up by another company. The next one also, this is published by Atari, but it's a Warner Brothers DC. It's Superman. I think I paid a little bit too much for this. Same again. The disc was battered, but I've gone to clean it, and it's absolutely pristine now. There isn't a scratch on it. Complete manual. The outer case is a little bit seen better days. You can actually see it's been depressed. There's something being sat on it, but paid. I think I paid. I can't actually remember. I'm sure I paid 15 for that, but I really didn't want to pay it. But it's a title that I don't have, and it's not something that you come across very often. I do believe it's just a port of the PS2. It's nothing amazing. I think Metacritic gave it 63 out of 100. and IMDb, they gave it the highest review of 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Apparently the voice acting is really good because the cast from the TV series that did the animated show came back to reprise the roles of the characters, which is really good. There is elements of it that tend to don't look as good as they should on the GameCube. I think it was a rushed port of this from PS2. So I've got high hopes for it because the Titus version on the N64 is bellissimo, superfluous. It's yeah, I think this one will surpass the N64 version, I am sure. So that pretty much concludes everything. Sorry if I wasn't looking at the camera because I focused on what I was reading and concentrating on what I was talking about. But your attention's mine now. I'm looking forward to focusing on this channel and giving it a big push. I'm nearing the 200 mark. I am slowly creeping there. When I do, there will be a giveaway. I keep telling you that. If you haven't seen our content, if you're new to this channel, check us out. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. Subscribe? That's borderline racist, that. Subscribe. Click the link in the corner, as Ben says from Cowbunga, the crotch box. Thank you for that. Yes, feel free to subscribe. We will greatly appreciate your support, and we will endeavour, that's the word, to give back when you give to us. Your love, support, comments down below, and oh God, my mouth. What I was trying to say is, don't forget to like and subscribe. This video was recorded after I'm wearing different clothing. Kirsty's here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've done it again. Like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, blah, blah, and blah. Okay? Thank you. Love life. Keep gaming.